Guys, we are going to be doing legs today on the Swole program, which means we have our strength progression. Going to be a front squat before moving into some 1 1/4 movements here today. So it's going to be pretty demanding. Now, my lower back has always been an issue, so I want to make sure I go through a thorough warm-up that is also in the app, but I'm also going to do some of my own things to make sure I pop my SI joint and really just open up my hips, because that's always been my problem area. Whatever workout we're doing from the app, you guys can actually download a free week in the Swole program, so make sure you guys don't forget to do that. You can do that in the description below. But no matter which one of our programs you do, we're always going to have a proper warm-up, a proper strength progression. Depending on which program you're doing, that'll determine really what our auxiliary lifts look like, and then really what the conditioning and cardio and everything else looks like. So check that out for sure. I'm gonna get warmed up right now before we jump into a leg day. Things you gotta do when you're almost 40. Damn, I'm getting old. Sleeves really are just, as we get heavier in weight, provide us with just more stability in that joint. We got some weight on our back, we're doing a squat. These knees really want to be kind of the most exposed area. So knee sleeves or wraps just keeps things compressed, keeps things tight. I will be belting up and using these knee sleeves, especially for this first strength movement. And these shoes, they're from RAD, R-A-D. Honestly, they're just a good, stable all around. I like the gum soles on them. You can run a little bit. You know, obviously I'm doing leg day in them. All right, guys, gonna be getting to my first working set here. Now, when we do a front squat, scapula's down and back, shoulders nice and high, because as we start the weight, nice and tight into the core, crack the knees, come down. As we lower, we're gonna want to make sure our knees over the toes into our midfoot. So that's kind of where we're pressing. We don't want to be too far in our heels, too far in our toes, just pressing through that mid heel, and that's gonna allow us to get these knees, you know, obviously you're not gonna be able to push them too far out. In my head, I'm thinking that, but they're gonna be nice. I'm gonna be pressing against the side of my hands, and we don't want them diving in. Now, our front rack gets into a compromised position. All of a sudden, you know, if our knees start coming in, we're gonna wanna lose that integrity in our posture up top. And then from there, we just have a lot of improper movement patterns, run the risk of getting hurt. So that's how we're gonna wanna do a front squat. First set of 10, I'm gonna belt up. Whew, everything's feeling heavy. Because I'm following the 60-minute version on the Swole program, we have a 90, a 60, and a 30. Because my lower back, I'm gonna be doing the 60-minute version today, just a lower volume in total. Got to superset these with a standing calf raise. But with a single leg, you're not gonna need a lot of weight. You're just gonna need to concentrate on good form. So all the way down, all the way up, we have 15 reps here. And really, if you concentrate on your offhand, probably gonna need to stabilize you. But if you really concentrate just coming up all the way onto that big toe, that's what I'm thinking like in my head. Ballerina, big toe, stretching at the bottom, coming back up, 15 reps. You're gonna start feeling it. They go up a little bit here in weight. Biggest issue is gonna be that movement integrity as we get up in weight. Things want to start compensating. So notice on my eccentric, on the lowering parts of the movement, I'm going a little bit slower maybe than normal. Again, I want to make sure as we go up in weight, I'm not subjecting myself to an improper movement pattern. My lower back will start taking a hit. This leg wants to turn out always a little bit more, which puts me just at a high risk of injury because I'm just not moving on the same on each side. So I slow it down when that starts happening. I don't speed it up, I slow things down. I do get asked the question, you know, you're feeling a little bit under the weather, sore throat a little bit. I always like to think I'm better off, again, coming in doing a 60-minute version of a workout, maybe not pushing it to total volume goes down. So I'm still gonna come in, hit my heavy sets, follow my progression, come in and again, maybe decrease 25 to 30% of the total volume. But that being said, I always feel better moving my body. If I'm feeling achy, you know, you get the kind of just the aches and things like that, not moving your body, at least come in and do some mobility and cardio, get blood moving. But there's a fine line between being sick and not feeling good. All right, I'm gonna focus on eccentric, getting nice and low in depth. Felt good. Definitely tested me there. Whew. Leg day supplements. Got some sodium, potassium in there just for hydration. I also have some different amino acids, just kind of a recovery blend. And then I have creatine in there, 3.5 milligrams because my pre-workout also had that. And then butene, I always say it wrong. Butene in there, HCl, butene HCl. Not only is it gonna help me stay hydrated, but also, you know, if nothing else, mentally, I'm checking in, I'm staying into it. I feel like I'm doing everything I need to. Craze right now is kind of for hydration to sip on electrolytes. I do not recommend that. First of all, if you're just sipping on salt all day, electrolytes essentially, you don't need that much salt unless you're sweating a ton, which would be fine. You're gonna need to drink water to pee out. You're just gonna pee out that salt. And then B, if you have any kind of hypertension or whatnot, it's not gonna help out with that, which, you know, most people getting enough salt from their diet's not a big issue, especially in the US. Too much salt really is just, if you're not getting enough water, that's an issue. Up next, we have a superset. First movement's gonna be barbell RDL. When we do these, we're gonna be working the hamstrings. We're really loading into them properly. You know, we're gonna wanna set up, grabbing that bar just outside, shoulder width apart. We're gonna crack the knees, and the knees don't bend any more than that. You know, some people, when they do these, they start bending too much at the knee and rounding too much at the back. You wanna have that knee cracking the knee, and then shoulder blades down and back. Nice tight stomach. And what we're thinking, I love the analogy of, hey, I got groceries in my hands, I gotta close a car door behind me, and I gotta do that with my butt. So the movement's gonna be displacement back into our glutes rather than bending over, it's pushing back. And that pushing back is going to be what lowers the weight. Push back. We got 10 reps here. 3, 4, 5. Next up, dumbbell 3-way lunge. We got 4 reps in each direction, so a total of 12 reps. If I'm working my right leg, that's gonna be the one that steps forward. We're gonna front lunge. We're gonna be in a nice position in 90 degrees with our knee over our foot. Press back up, out to the side. We're lunging again into that right leg. I like to keep the weights in front of me as I lunge into that side, trying to keep this off leg. If you need to, you can let that heel come up. If not, you can keep it down. Want to maintain the integrity in our leg that's bending and our knee that's bending. And then the last one, step back. So again, we're working our right leg, step back into that back lunge, forward. So 2, oh no, see, I did that wrong. Step back with that one. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. And then we switch legs. Gotta get a good rep there. All right, switching legs. 1, 1. Man, that's tough. 2. All right, guys. Hack squat, get 10-8-6 here. Superset with a seated calf raise where we'll go 15, 12, 10. On this hack squat, we're really gonna focus on quads. Now, the way we do that is where we set up our feet. It'd be more posterior chain. If we went feet forward, got a little bit wider, we'll focus, the wider we get, more inside of that quad we're gonna focus on. So we're gonna go narrow and close to the end of the platform. We're gonna get a lot of knee over toe doing that. We're just gonna really focus on those quads. Definitely starting to feel it in the quads. All right, we got seated calf raise, stretch at the bottom, half-second pause at the top. Got to get it to where I can just slide my knees under. There we go. That stretch at the bottom. We're really focusing on that gastrocnemius with that stretch. And then all the way to the top. 15 reps here. Rest time, gonna be 2 minutes, and then we're back on our hack squat. Woo! Just want to remind you guys again, if you want a free week in the Swole program, head over to the link we have in the description here. You guys can check out exactly what it looks like to be on the Swole program in the app. We have also mobility and nutrition when you sign up for the app as well. Appreciate you guys watching these as well. We're getting back into this. We also have, my channel. I'm doing more vlogs, but this is where gonna be in-depth workouts. Get Jake back on here doing some workouts as well. Fun getting back into content. More superset before we're all done with legs. Let's head over to the dumbbell area to introduce the next exercise. All right, guys, last superset today. We'll be doing Bulgarian split squats, 1 1/4 rep. I like to you can actually just sit on the bench too. Sit down like you would straight out, and that's gonna be essentially where we're gonna do our split squat from. Now you can have when we talk about having our leg back here on the pad, you can go toe into the pad, like you see me there, or you can go flat. I typically end up going flat, just out of preference, but what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna lower all the way, making sure our knee's tracking over our foot there. We're gonna go up 1/4, back below parallel, and then back up. So a lot of time under tension on this one. Start off with something light. We got 10 reps. We're going 10-8-6 on this. Each side, 10 reps, 1 1/4, and then switch. We're gonna superset this with a seated leg extension to really fry those quads. And then guess what? You're done. You just got mobility after this. So let's finish strong. Last exercise, best exercise. Leg extension, making sure on the eccentric we're controlling it. At the top, I like to get a half-second pause. We have 15, 12, 10. Painful one. Pretty self-induced though. Just lack of sleep, overall lack of taking care of myself, which can happen a little bit when you have a newborn, but you got to do a better job of making sure you take care of the stuff outside the gym so you can come in and you can focus on the job at hand. Remember, it's like when you're on a flight and they say, if the cabin loses pressure and oxygen mass drop, you got to take care of yourself so you can help someone else out. It's not selfish. And it took me a long time to realize that. If I'm not at my best, I'm no good to anyone else. If I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not a little bit selfish with my time and my yeses in life, if I say yes to everything, if I'm not stingy with my time, stingy with what I consume on social media. If I don't have a barrier, then I let that lead my life and that take over rather than dictating what I allow to come into my ecosystem. I gotta do a better job of that. And if that's you guys right now, again, got a lot of noise in the world, social media, election stuff. At the end of the day, you control your own destiny. I've never been a big fan of the victim mentality. Yes, we all have things in life. We all have reasons not to succeed. And I don't care. There's gonna be reasons in your life that you can say, oh, here's an excuse. Just like, we always say, everyone has an excuse not to come in the gym at 5 o'clock, and it's usually a pretty good one. You have to rise above those things, and you have to come in, you have to get things done. You are the master of your own day. And I love the John Wooden quote. It's make each day your masterpiece. And I gotta do better than that. I gotta look that man in the mirror at the end of a workout, at the end of a week. Am I good with the effort I put in? As a dad, first and foremost, as a husband, as a father, and then as somebody who I want to be in the gym. And really only you know if you're cheating yourself. So with that, get home, got some mobility, cold plunge and sauna, get to bed earlier tonight, spend some time with my daughter. See you guys.